He knows how to land it, and and Deontay Wilder to me is the rematch king. 2-0, 2 knockouts. Right. So that's the reason why I'm going with Deontay Wilder.
Ortiz.
That's the reason why I'm going with.
So basically,
Deontay
plus
Wilder.
115, Deontay by knockout's a good bet.
So Tim,
Yeah.
what do you think about Fury saying that he's going up to 270 from two? He's usually around the 250, 252
he ain't
range.
learned from Andy Ruiz. He ain't learned from Andy Ruiz. 270 for what? Listen, man, you ain't knocking nobody out at 240. You ain't knocking nobody out at 270. 240, 270. I'm sorry. I was fighting at 140. I wasn't a power puncher. I was a defensive type of guy. I like to move and get out of the way. So is Fury. That's his instinct. That's what he does. That's what he is. And him trying to transition and become some sit-down puncher and try to be aggressive and try to, show grit and all that. Like, man, I think it's fluff. I think he's not going to do that. I think in spots he will. But I think right now, he's just trying to sell this right now, man. I honestly don't think he's going to go at him out the gate.
So you think it'll be a tactical error if he tries to use the weight and come bombard Deontay Wilder?
I mean, honestly, he got to get there. And everybody don't understand Deontay. I've been studying him for 2 weeks. Go back and look at the fit. This dude has always set the punch. He's here. He got the wide stance and he's here. And then he take a little step back to get his distance. Like, you got to watch him. He has a higher IQ than people give him credit for, man. I'm not saying technique. His technique is kind of terrible. I'm not going to lie. But his IQ is there. His IQ is there. And once he throws that perfect right hand, boom, it's good night. And like I said before, all it takes, man, is 2 seconds. Like he said, it's true. I've been in there. I've told you guys. I said, man, if I can go back and I'll give away all my skills to have a right hand from Deontay Wilder, give me that right hand. Because I'm going to find a way to land it and end the night. Give me the right hand. My man Deontay Wilder got 40-something. He ain't received no damage. No damage. Think about that. How many times does he get hit? Come on, man. Think about it.
Highest KO percentage. Heavyweight history.
Exactly. That's my point. That's the point I'm making. I'm taking that all day. Give me that power. I wasn't a power guy. Give me that power.
So Tim, if Tyson does do what he's best at, then move and box, do you think he could win the fight that way?
Tyson has to move and box, and then he has to choose his spots wisely to get inside, get off, bop, 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 and then get back on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Observe the landscape again and do it again and repeatedly do it. Now, if Tyson can stay on his feet, if he does get hit, or when he does get hit, we don't know how he's going to react from the punch. Is he still affected from the right hand? He could be. I'm not going to lie. I was affected after I fought against Provodnikov. I wasn't able to, I'm telling you, I wasn't able to take a shot like I used to. Like, a jab would start to hurt me. So he still can be affected from that.
So you would rather, if I just heard you correctly,
I would give me that power.
You want that power over skills?
Over anything, give me the power. I'm gonna find a way. This man knows how to deliver that power. You need to understand that. He set back against an Ortiz fight. Everybody's like, oh, he wasn't a great. Styles make fights. He's a Cuban fighter. He understands angles, and it's difficult to land your jab against a southpaw. It's hard to land your jab against a southpaw. It truly is because of the angle. So he wasn't jabbing enough, but once he got it working, what did he do? He blinded him with that joint, came right down the middle. What did Ortiz do? He got comfortable. He knew he was going to get comfortable. He knew he was going to slow down. He made him work. And he set the boom, and it was good night.
Tim, Tyson was saying that he has an edge over Deontay because he's not with his family, his kids, his wife, and Deontay's. Is that true as a fighter?
Man, that's baloney. That's baloney because I never left. I never left my family. And each fighter's different. So that, going away might be good for him, because he needs that type of focus. But for Deontay Wilder being with his family and stuff, that's inspiration. That's motivation. That's why I took it.
Talk about with the crowd. Now he's going to have a lot of people here. I was just at the
Who's that?
Fury. There's a lot of people here on his side, and
see the crowd can influence the judges. The crowd can definitely influence the judges.
How does it impact the boxer though? When you're in the ring, do you hear that?
Oh, you do hear that. You do hear that, and the fans definitely give you inspire you. They definitely give you inspiration. To push harder. Okay. To push harder during the fight.
Thinking back in the last fight when he was putting his hands up and taunting Wilder, does that impact the judges as well?
It can, absolutely. If the judges find that amusing and he's saying, oh, I'm hitting you, but you're not hitting me, and he putting his hands up, it could. Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
The judges are important in this fight because every fight before let me just say this. Every fight, I needed to know who the judges were. If I didn't like a particular judge because they judged a certain way, I'll get rid of him. No, I don't want him. So going into this fight, I'm curious to know who the judges are, and I'm curious to know the history and how they judge because every judge is different. You got to understand that. I told Sean Porter this. I said, you got a judge that might like pressure. This judge over here, the way he fights, the way he judges, he likes the pressure fighter. You might have a judge that likes the boxer. You might have a neutral judge here that likes both, or he likes the busier guy.
So
you got to know how they judge fights.
Are you adjusting your fight towards the judge?
I always adjust my fight. That's the reason why you see the Desert Storm 5 World Championships. It's not because I look pretty. It's not because I'm the tallest. It's not because I'm the biggest. It's not because I hit the hardest. It's because I was the smartest and I wanted it more than they got. And I knew what the judges wanted.
So, from an odds perspective, right now they have 10.5 is the total rounds, over and under. And right now the favorite is to go over. But you're thinking that this fight, someone's getting stopped. Do you think Deontay Wilder can win a decision by outboxing Tyson Fury?
Can he win a decision? Absolutely. I believe that he can win the decision over here. In the first fight, Tyson Fury was able to land 86 punches against Deontay Wilder. Back when he fought against Klitschko, he was able to lay 84 punches against Klitschko. There's kind of like a thing with Tyson Fury. When he fights against punchers, he doesn't take a whole lot of risk. I know he's talking about taking all this risk. He doesn't take a whole lot of risk because you don't want to get hit by a big puncher.
He took risks in the first fight. I mean, Fury stepped in.
But he needs to take more.
I mean, he got dropped twice too.
He has to take more risk if he wants to get a clear decision over here.
What do you think about his 2-round knockout prediction?
Anybody can say anything. I mean, you can say it. I don't buy it. Man, listen, when Fury came back, he weighed at 276 pounds, and I think he fought against Stafora.
Right.
Stefaria, Sephora, whatever his name is, Stefaria, whatever. This dude was like 6'2", 209 pounds and so, and 3 stones or whatever you call it or whatever. And he could knock him out. He hit him flush on the chin. Boom, boom. He couldn't knock him out. So you thinking that he gonna come back? He was 276 now.
Right. But Tyson saying he's working with Javon Hill and he's gonna sit on his punches better and that kind of thing.
That just means that he has to be in front of. You got to be in front of Deontay Wilder if you want to sit on your punches. To me,
Tim, pro boxing fans, how much psychologically will the 12th round impact on Fury going into the early rounds? Do you think?
what do you mean?
In
12
terms
rounds.
of the knockdown, what happened, getting back up?
See,
to
this
that,
is
all
round
that?
13. This is round 13. So round 12, we saw what happened in round 12. Now you got to finish where you started. I'm talking about Deontay Wilder. Now Tyson Fury knows that he can get up from it. He got up from the punch twice, so that's gonna give him some confidence to get inside. That's why he's saying, "I already felt your power. I took your best punch. Bring it on."
But do you think that may lead to a slight bit of overconfidence?
Exactly. That's my point. That's where I was going. That could be an overconfidence. But at the same time, you got Deontay Wilder sitting back and he's saying, I hit this dude with my best shot and he didn't go nowhere. Oh my gosh, what do I got to do to keep this guy on the ground? So that could be discouraging for him as well. But at the same time, he can say, I already put him down. I know he's still affected. I'm going to put him down again.
And remember, the first fight, Deontay weighed less than he's weighed in any other. That was the lightest he's ever weighed.
Lightest he ever weighed.
So it was, right, was it 217?
217.
And also,
And he was sick going
he
into that
hurt
fight.
his right hand.
Right. Well, I thought
4.5
it was
weeks.
the elbow, right?
Right.
Inside, or yeah, he couldn't fully extend.
And this was, and that
4.5
news was,
weeks.
and that news was discussed with Mark Kriegel from ESPN,
Yes.
where he said that exactly 12 weeks and 4 days prior to the bout, that he injured his right forearm while throwing a body shot during sparring, where he hit an opponent in an elbow.
So he couldn't train with the right hand. You know, he couldn't properly make those adjustments in training. He had to pull off the right hand and not throw it. So now he had a full camp. Plus, I forgot to mention, they're 91 days. You know, Deontay Wilder, since his last fight. So he left the ring, went on a little vacation, got back, and still was in some shape for this training camp. Still light in weight, still sharp. I'm telling you, he was sharp in
It's
training.
not too soon to turn around?
No. It's how he managed it, I'm sure. And I'm sure he took a little vacate, came back because he still got the 2 months to work. and now he's
He
coming
also-
back,
he
and
also
that's
doesn't
what.
get the rounds like everybody else. I mean, at least on fight night.
And then that's true. And then you got the 30. Then you got he's 34 years old. He's an older fighter. Older fighters got to stay active, more active, so that way the risk of injury isn't there.
And time.
Thanks, Tim.
Timing, you name
Tim,
it.
last one. We saw in
Thanks,
the
Tim.
last fight, Fury had a massive cut. Will he be nervous about that, do you think?
Massive what?
Massive cut.
Oh, cut. Okay, I was like, huh? Is he concerned? It's the fight now. I mean, I don't think. Well, I don't think he's concerned about it. I mean, he knows it's there.
Do
He
you
knows
think?
it's a possibility it may open, but he ain't worried about
Who
that.
you got winning this fight? Who you got winning this fight?
Bronze Bomber, man.
Okay.
I gotta go with Bronze Bomber,
Do you
man.
think
I
this
gotta
is
go.
the biggest fight in 50 years, like Bob Arum said?
No doubt about it, man. Like y'all don't understand, man. Like y'all don't understand like what this fight means. This is like everybody's laughing at the lineal. Like, dude, that's the man that beat the man, Joe Louis. That goes back to Muhammad Ali. That goes way back before. Like this guy, Tyson Fury, hasn't been beaten. Both these guys, they haven't been beaten. Man.
But Tim,
This fight means everything to boxing.
Don't
Everything.
don't you feel like with the lineal championship and with a lot being made by Tyson Fury about being the lineal champion, that there's an actual responsibility to the lineal champion or a champion period to maintain himself? Isn't that what being a champion is about?
That's what it's
Eating
about.
right,
You gotta-
not doing drugs, taking care of your body. Isn't
true.
that what the game is about?
I mean, when I think about that, that's another element. That's another angle that you can take. You got a Deontay Wilder that's been focused, been dedicated to his craft. Don't drink, don't do drugs, don't do any of that. Then you have Tyson Fury that went off on a limb, whatever. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, we think about these things. I think about these things. I'm saying, man, I'm living clean. I'm living right. I'm focused. I'm coming in this fight, with all conscious that, hey, I'm 100% ready. And then you have someone else that didn't do the same thing. So, I would say Wilder has an advantage mentally in that aspect. Absolutely. But it's your obligation to stay 100%, especially when you're the lineal champion. I'm not judging anyone, like I said. Whatever happened with Tyson Fury at that time, whatever you're going through, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? What I was gonna say is depression is a real thing, my man. It's a real thing.
No doubt.
It's a real thing, and it's a mental thing. And sometimes you need some sort of medication to be able to aid it, man. Not gonna lie.